Hello aspirants, so it has been more than a week since UPSC CSE 2026 had taken place and UPSC has also published the provisional answer key. So let's discuss the paper analysis of the UPSC CSE 2026 or what I was able to analyze from here. So 100 questions, 13 subjects, current affairs dominated this time with 20 questions and science and tech was the second most important one with the 14 questions. So moving forward from here, let's look at the next slide. So we will discuss the paper nature. What exactly was the nature of the paper? Now, despite the large hue and cry, paper was this and that, one thing that we can always expect from the UPSC is the fact that paper will remain unconventional. UPSC has been quite dynamic in nature and maybe they're also looking for the aspirants who are dynamic too. So paper was itself a mix of static along with that dynamic part. You can observe the conventional areas. Yes, there were multiple questions that came from the NCERT part, specifically in the history and geography. Yes, there were certain unconventional areas too that were connected to the domain of science and tech. There were few questions that are not normally asked by the UPSC, or we can say that they were once in a while questions that we will discuss in the coming slides. Along with this, some questions were analytical, application based. So as I would say, it was, a mixture of conventional and unconventional sort of questions. So moving forward from here, let's look at the next slide of us. So questions from the expected area. So every year UPSC, as I said, creates a question paper. There's a blend of static and dynamic part. So in terms of static part, polity and governance was there. Modern history, geography, environment, economics, art and culture definitely was present there, and those of you who have analyzed the paper would have been able to point those things out. So here are some examples, like for example, regarding the InSpace or the space program of India. InSpace is the private organization that has been now involved in the space programs. It is private arm of the ISRO itself. Next question regarding the NBFC is one of the most commonly asked sector in the economics part. Along with this, National Quantum Mission overlaps with science and tech and also your current affairs. Plus regarding the multidimensional poverty index, we have observed that UPSC from time to time asks regarding the indexes, whether it's HDI, MPI or any other. Including the indexes, they also discuss multiple reports that are published by the Indian institutions or sometimes international organizations too. So this was an area that was already expected. So moving forward from here, in terms of, I would say, a new thing, or in terms of something that was quite different, we have observed that in science and tech, emerging technologies were asked, ranging from drone warfare to weapon systems. Now here's the thing. In terms of drone warfare and weapon system, I personally believe the reason why they asked that was because of the Operation Sindoor. There was large scale use of these weapon systems. Along with that, the drone warfare became quite common. If whosoever have followed the Operation Sindoor, remember we intercepted multiple adversary drones. So it was not surprising that the drone or the science and tech was dominated by military tech. To be honest, after quite a long time. Now moving forward from here, some of the unconventional questions. Definitely there are some questions that are usually once in a while. As you can see here, this UNIMIL or the unit peacekeeping operations of India they are discussing here. So the period of operation, the regarding peacekeeping operation, here's the thing. This is a question that probably is once in a while. If you are thinking that such type of question will come regularly, I have my own doubts. But I believe that every year there are few questions that are asked by UPSC just out of nowhere, there to confuse the aspirants. So I personally believe this one is purely for that purpose. So I personally believe that the reason why this question was asked was because of the Operation Sindoor, because 15 corps was highly active during that time, the Chinar corps, and therefore the Srinagar is their area of responsibility. So even though such questions are once in a while, but I personally believe that this question was connected to the something that led to current affairs, that is Operation Sindoor. So moving forward from here, so sports, one question from some obscure areas. So UPSC has tendency of doing something like that. In terms of mapping, every year questions are asked from the areas that are continuously in news, like for example this year Strait of Hormuz. So mapping questions as expected were there. Yes, in defense, as I said, question number 86 and 88 from set C, quite confusing, but as I said, that one of the questions was there because of Operation Sindoor, I personally believe. Then modern history, international organization, geography. But you can see obviously here that current affairs dominated, and after current affairs it was science and tech. And science and tech questions, most of them were actually sort of like a dynamic questions that were asked from sometimes conventional area, but in many cases they were connected to the current affairs itself. This is the question breakup in front of you. And moving forward from here, what are the key takeaways from the paper itself? So balance is the key. Definitely we have to balance between static and the dynamic part. Along with this, current affair this year has dominated outrightly. Emerging tech remained in question continuously. Economics and science and tech dominated the part, but current affairs, as I said, was also in tandem with the science and tech itself. Niche topics, once in a while questions, as we say, did make a difference this year. Integrated preparation, so this is our analysis that integrated preparation is required for this, which means that aspirant not just should depend on the static, they should also try to keep themselves updated with the current affairs, and looking at the type of question asked, they should update themselves with in-depth current affairs. One area that hasn't been touched by the UPSC this year is the medieval India. So there's a very high chance that next year they will ask questions from there. Do not expect this to be a trend. Like for example, for multiple years UPSC did not concentrate upon ancient India, but then suddenly questions started coming from the ancient Indian art and culture part itself. So there is a possibility that UPSC might also surprise the students in the coming years regarding something like this too. So this doesn't mean medieval India has lost its importance, just that UPSC decides which question to ask, which not to ask. Therefore, all the areas remain important. And hence, with this, we say thank you to all of you for your time and best of luck for your prelims result. But here's the thing, no matter what happens in the prelims, all of you should prepare for the mains. Why? Because those who are clearing the prelims, definitely you will be required to sit for the mains, and those who are not clearing the prelims, still eventually your path to success will also go through the mains. So since we have plenty of time for the next year UPSC, which is on 23rd May, continue with the preparation. And with that, we at Imperial IAS Academy wish you best of luck. Thank you.